Welcome to the Collecting the King Show, episode 4. And today's show title is Suspicion. Of course, that's a song Elvis did and was also made a hit by Terry Stafford, a recording artist in the 60s. And why Elvis didn't have a big hit with it and Terry Stafford did, let me know. Okay, so first off, I'd like to go to the comment section. A gentleman by the name of Jeff Bailiff, I believe, he says, I saw your articles in the Elvis 25th anniversary book. I'm glad you enjoyed that, Jeff. Eric Silva said he's looking forward to seeing Joe Tunzi on the show, and he said that would be a first. So I don't know what that's all about. I know Joe's basically a private guy. Maybe that's why you said that. But I've talked to him and everything here and there, and as far as I know, he said he's still going to do it. So he's on our future guest list. Another gentleman, Luis, and boy, there's no way I'm going to say this name correctly. Jazine Vicious. Anyway, he's from Argentina and wants to know if I'll be talking about Elvis records from South America. Well, Luis, probably not, because I don't know a lot about records from South America. I do know that there's a lot of records down there that are considered pretty valuable to U.S. collectors. We probably will talk about import LPs. I'm sure we'll do a whole show. Then there's Antone Portenkeichner. I hope that's okay, who says hello from Austria, so hello. Eddie Youngblood from Australia, who said, fantastic channel. Oh, okay. Well, Eddie, thank you very much for that. Also, Doug Dickinson, he says, in regards to your show on hype stickers, now he mentioned something about he has a small round sticker on his copy of How Great Thou Art, and he notes that it's probably a record store sticker, but it's different and unique, and that's why he likes it. Well, the thing is, Doug, that there are a lot of stickers that are just cool. Like RCA also did a sticker that just says RCA. It's kind of a square sticker, and or exclusively on RCA records. Matter of fact, I was just talking about that with somebody this morning. Collectors usually want their records to be almost exactly as they were when they were released. The more they look like the original release, like it had a Sears Roebuck baggie on it, or it had a Corvette store sticker on or whatever on the shrink wrap. Sometimes that just gave it that cool, authentic feeling that you get when you go to the record store as a kid for the first time and find it there and hold it in your hands. So stickers in general are cool. So getting back to the title of our show, which is Suspicion. When you're a collector, you have to be very, very careful about buying certain types of collectibles. Only because there are some people out there who aren't necessarily the most honest people in the world, and they will try to falsify something or counterfeit something, or went as far as to printed something like a hype sticker or a bonus photo or things like that. And it seems like they always pick the ones that are the most valuable. Some of these items, hype stickers, bonus photos, some of the photos that go inside the album covers or were handed out in stores, 45 picture sleeves, record labels, especially white label promos, because they're the easiest to reproduce, and of course personal belongings of things that Elvis Presley actually owned, which you can authenticate that stuff by all means you can, but there are other times when you can't, and people will swear up and down that this is Elvis's shirt or Elvis's whatever, and those type of things are really hard to authenticate unless you actually have a photograph with Elvis wearing it or standing with it or something like that. When I first started collecting, again, and I mean serious collecting, not just buying records and listening to them, I went to the very first Elvis convention I ever went to in Memphis, Tennessee in 1987. And I've been showing some pictures here and there of stuff as far back as then, and I'll probably show a few more this time. When I started going to those shows, it was fantastic because you saw thousands and thousands of Elvis items that you'd never seen before in your life, including albums from other countries, memorabilia from other countries, and it was a great place to go for an Elvis fan. I remember the first time I went there, I felt like I had died and gone to Elvis heaven. I also learned that not only were there great Elvis items out there, but there were also items out there that were questionable, shall we say. And a lot of those items were from different dealers who were a little less reputable, shall we say, than other dealers. And some of you Elvis collectors out there probably already know some names are popping up in your head right now of people that are like that. And the sad part about it is that when a lot of this stuff was reproduced, and there were, like I said, there were stickers and bonus photos and all kinds of stuff like that that were reproduced, that stuff, when it was sold into the mainstream market, is now in the 21st century on eBay. So back then, you know, when you had to see items and hold them in your hands, and you could tell or at least get an idea if something was real or not because you're looking at it, those days are gone. Now you have to buy a lot of stuff over the internet, and you're buying it on eBay, and so you're taking a pretty big risk. What we wanted to talk about, too, are some of the most common of these items. And some of them, one of them, of course, I mentioned in the last episode, is the Chicken of the Sea sticker. And that's the sticker that goes on the Aloha from Hawaii album. And there were only so many of them, these stickers made and put on copies, sealed copies of Aloha from Hawaii. And these were given out to the employees of Chicken of the Sea. And I'm sure everybody knows about this. If you're in the Elvis world and you've collected for a while, you know about that sticker. That sticker is like so been duplicated and so rebooted so many times that finding a genuine sticker is next to impossible. I personally have seen at least a good 5 or 6 of those things, maybe even more. As a matter of fact, you'll be seeing a picture of one of the bootleg ones that I saw from somebody who brought it to a show, and we actually videotaped it. You'll see that tape coming up on my an upcoming segment here with Johnny B, who is our guest again today. So it's a shame because once that was booted, a lot of the value of that sticker really went down because nobody trusts it anymore. Another good example is the Gold Records 4 Volume 4 bonus photo, which is not even a bonus photo that went with the album. It was a photo that was given away at the record stores. Somebody decided they were going to bootleg it or make a counterfeit of it back in the 90s, and now there are several of them out there that are not real. There's also a small bonus card that a lot of people don't realize came with the 1254, which is Elvis Presley, the very first album with the pink and green letters. There was a little dinky like baseball card, and it was also handed out at the record store. So it's really technically the very first bonus item. But this little card is worth quite a bit of money. Very, very, very hard to find. I've only had maybe 1 or 2 my whole life. But unfortunately, somebody got a hold of it in the 90s and made a batch of them. So now they're floating all over eBay, and they're a little easier to identify because the pictures aren't that crisp, kind of blurry. And it's because it's worth so much money, you could tell why they went with all the trouble to duplicate it. But those are some of the items that are out there. Interesting story I wanted to tell was in Memphis, Tennessee. Like I said, one of the great things about being in Memphis every year during August was in the older days, I met a lot of people. I think I met every single one of Elvis's entourage. The only person I did not meet was Lamar Fike. But one guy that I did meet up with quite a few times, and I could honestly say he was a fairly close friend, as close as we could be, being that he knew Elvis Presley real well, and I was an Elvis fanatic, and I knew him, was Sonny West. And Sonny, who recently passed away, was one of the nicest guys I think we've ever met. Him and John Wilkinson, who was Elvis's rhythm guitar player, was a great guy as well. But here's an interesting story, since we're talking about things to be suspicious about. I think the number one thing is autographs. And you got to be really careful because Elvis signed a lot of stuff. So throughout his career, because he was so generous at autographing stuff, his signature varied to different degrees. If he was signing stuff real fast, it looked a little more scraggly. If he took his time to autograph something, it looked really sharp. So anyway, one of the great things about Sonny is we were sitting outside the show one day in the lobby, just sitting around casually talking, and I don't know how it came up, but somebody had brought up the topic of Elvis's signature and autograph, and whether or not it was authentic or real. And Sonny had this kind of smirk on his face, was kind of laughing, and I said, "What? What's so funny?" And he goes, "Y'all got a piece of paper?" I said, "Sure." So I think my wife Carol, who's on the camera again today, I think went and grabbed a piece of paper out of the show, brought it out with a pen, and Sonny wrote this. As a matter of fact, this is the actual piece of paper, and I don't know how well we're going to see it. There we go. Okay, this is the actual piece of paper that Sonny West signed with a pen, and when he signed it, he handed it back to me, and I noticed it's Elvis's signature. As a matter of fact, it's Elvis's signature along with "Sincerely Elvis" or "Thanks Elvis." And I looked at him, I said, "So what are you saying?" And he says, "Well, when Elvis was performing in Vegas, I mean, people were sending stuff up to the room all the time to get things autographed. And Elvis was tired. I mean, half the time he'd go to bed or he'd be zonked out or something, and he just didn't want to bother with it." He says, "So we signed him." He said, and I remember him saying not only him, but Joe Esposito and just about anybody in the crew or the entourage who knew how to do this would sign Elvis's name to stuff and then send it back down. And these people in Vegas thought they were getting Elvis's signature. If it wasn't bad enough that it was hard to determine whether or not you were getting Elvis's signature, authentic signature, now you don't even know if you're getting his signature or if you're getting Sonny West or you're getting Joe Esposito or whoever else was up there signing these things. So I would think those of you out there who actually did go to Vegas, had stuff signed and sent back to you, I'd double check that signature again if I were you, because I would say the odds are it may not be Elvis's signature based upon this. So here's Johnny B with part 2 of our interview. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Johnny B is back. Just like, remember when Bond was back in 1964 when Goldfinger came out? Bond is back. Well, Johnny B is back, and here he is. So why is it that out of the 3 shows that we've done, the highest viewed show is the one that you're on?
Because
what is that?
Because I'm a star. I have star power.
You have star power in your head.
There's Memphis, and there's Elvis, and then there's me.
I don't know. People must like you a hell of a lot more than they like me.
People know me from the door. Okay, I worked the door for 20 years, so people know me.
You were the one they complained at.
Oh yeah, that's that little bastard we had to give $3 to at the door. Now at Graceland, you have to pay $35 just to shop.
Just to go shopping.
Just to go shopping.
And you were complaining about $3.
And people were complaining about $3 to come
into
shop.
our convention in Memphis, Tennessee during Elvis Week. We are talking. This show is called Suspicion. So we're talking about we're just trying to help collectors by giving them some advice and talk about our experience when it comes to We always call them bootlegs. I don't know. That's not really the official term.
No.
But we called everything a bootleg. So like if they were fake hype stickers, like I have already talked about, or fake bonus photos, or fake odds and ends of things that were reproduced and passed off as originals, we used to call them boots, right? Isn't that?
Well, yes.
I mean, did we ever call them counterfeit?
I just called them fake.
And speaking of fake stuff, John here is probably the number one authority on getting screwed by fake stuff, and I'm going to let him tell that story now. Take her away.
It goes long, back a long way. But I was green, like I told you. I got back into the originals and stuff, and I didn't I didn't know a lot. I had never seen some of these things. One of the big ones was King Creole. I knew there was a photo. It was on my list to get it, and then of course I met a dealer, who was a dealer slash friend, and I bought a King Creole photo, and I put it away. I just thought it was real. I put it in the album, and put it away for years. I can't remember the circumstances. I decided to do some selling or something, and I brought it out, and I took it back to this dealer. And what was odd was he wanted to buy the album, but he didn't want to buy the photo back. And I'm thinking, well, the photo goes with the album. Why wouldn't you want to buy the photo? He said, well, I have some photos. I just need the album. So I didn't sell it. I left, and I didn't sell it because I wanted to keep it together. So when I walked out, on the drive home, that's when suspicion kicked in, because I thought something is not right here. And then I called another friend, and he came by and took a look at the photo, and he kind of hemmed and hawed and he wasn't sure. So, although I think he knew, but he didn't want to say anything, So he said, you know what, there's a Burning Love fan club show this weekend. Remember the Burning Love?
Yep,
I think it was
in
I don't know
Chicago.
if they exist anymore. Maybe they do. And he said, well, you know what? We're going to go. If you want to go, we'll go. And it just so happened that Al DeVorn was there. It was the first time I met Al. So I met Al, and I showed Al I took it out of the folder and said, Al, I like your opinion about something. So I took the photo out and I showed it to Al, and he busted out laughing. And I thought, why is this man laughing?
We might want to make a note that Al DeVorn, I mentioned him before, those of you who don't know, Al DeVorn was on tour with Elvis whenever he toured, and Al DeVorn was in charge of all the souvenirs.
Yeah, super souvenirs.
Super souvenirs, and he was also famous for saying, Elvis has left the building. So this is the actual guy that sold souvenirs and would go out, if you remember, and there were people around like the Chicago Stadium when I saw him. There would be bootleggers selling bootleg photos and bootleg banners.
And they confiscated it all.
And Al would send security out, and they would confiscate the stuff. So here, this is the guy that he's showing this fake photo to. No wonder he busted out laughing.
This wasn't a first copy or it was like a third copy. It was horrible. It was terrible. And then another big one for me was the Memphis to Vegas, the sticker, Memphis to Vegas to Memphis sticker. And I bought that sticker. Again, I had never seen the original. I couldn't remember at the time. I bought the sticker, got it home, kept it for a while, was thrilled to have it. Then one day I was looking at it and close up, and then I see like scissor cuts on the edge of the sticker. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, there's some, it's crooked. This is not right. And then, not only that, I started playing with, and the sticker popped right off. It came right off in my hand. And I thought, oh, come on, there's something. So here's the bad part. I called my friend, and he said, oh, I'll call this dealer friend of ours, and he'll straighten it out. So this other friend calls me back and says, hey, he's going to make good on the sticker. Okay, so come and meet us. So I went and met him, and then he gave me another album with a Memphis to Vegas sticker. But this sticker was straight. I looked at it, it was straight, and it was greener. It was different. I could say, oh, this one's real. This one's real. So I got it. We did the swap. Said, okay, sorry, John, I know this happened. And I took it home, and then I find out much later on it was just a second generation.
And you showed that sticker to me.
To you, I showed that sticker.
I was the one.
Yep.
So here I have to break the news to you that the sticker that you went to get replaced with a real one is just a little better.
That's how stupid I am. I walked out I brought a fake sticker and still left with a fake sticker. Ladies and gentlemen, our sponsor for this show is Vaseline, by the way. Okay? And I mean a big one from Sam's Club that you can buy. Like a 40-pound. That's my experience. Okay? Because I earned every bit of that.
You had a lot of use with that Vaseline.
Well, like I said, you know the story how I found that. A number of years later, I was going to sell a lot of my collection. It was a big anniversary.
And we were at your place.
You came over, and I brought out the box.
And you were excited because you were going to sell your wooden heart sticker.
Yes.
That goes on GI Blues.
The My Boy sticker.
The My Boy sticker.
And the sticker on Our Memories Volume 1.
And folks, he was so excited. He's like, wow, look at this sticker. And he brought it out, and I'm looking at it going,
Bob looks at it. He goes, uh-oh. Then he picks up another one. Uh-oh. Picks up another one. Uh-oh. I'm thinking,
so John went and got all of them and said, here, take a look.
It came out. It must have come out to about at least $2,000 I lost by not being able to sell those albums. And matter of fact, it was funny. I did sell some of them with the sticker at the show, but the people knew. Remember, we told the people they were fake. They knew that they were a fake sticker, but they wanted it just for for the album. The guy said, I don't care if the stickers. He says, I may never get the real one, so I want to buy it anyway.
You know who did that once, and he's a subscriber? Is Rick Davis.
Okay.
The collector Rick Davis.
Yeah, I remember Rick.
Rick, I remember, I can't remember. I think it was maybe the wooden heart sticker. You know, there was a wooden heart sticker that was fake.
Yeah.
And I think Rick
bought it from.
Rick bought it.
Yeah, but we,
you know, because I think I had it up on the wall because I had found out it was fake.
Yeah.
So I just was putting it up there to show people what a fake wooden heart sticker. And he goes, is that real? And I said, no. And he said, well, how much do you want for it? I said, what, you want to buy a fake sticker? He says, yeah, I want the fake sticker too. So Rick, if you're watching, you put in the comments why you bought a fake sticker from me.
You know, and you, of course, you know what happened with that. I got so disillusioned, I turned to Samantha Fox from the 80s.
He sold his whole Elvis collection.
I had so much fun for a number of years collecting, you know, if people remember Samantha Fox from Great Britain, the busty page 3 girl who became a singer. And I had a massive Samantha Fox. And I enjoyed collecting. I just was so disheartened by the Elvis. I was tired of these dealers and buying this stuff. I got out. I said, no, I'm done for a while. I'm done. I'm switching to something else.
I mean, can you imagine that, Elvis fans? You get so frustrated because you got screwed so bad by crooked Elvis dealers that you started collecting Samantha Fox records.
You know, in all the collecting worlds, there's con artists and coins, baseball cards, autographs, as you've talked to me. I mean, and it's a shame.
You remember on the 20th anniversary was the first year you came down, went to Memphis. And a guy from California, no names mentioned, came in and he was all excited because he had bought the rarest of all Elvis records that there could be. And I remember him coming in, and I had video of it. I took video of it. And he came in the show, and he was plopping down one record after the other onto the table, showing us every single rare record you could imagine that he supposedly bought from one dealer, a dealer that we knew. And every single record was fake. Every single thing was fake. But we really didn't know how fake it was until we got to the J.P. Morgan and Elvis EP, which, by the way, folks, is probably the ultimate rarest EP you could get. And that was where it was a double pocket EP with a message inside, which if you'll see in the pictures that I'm showing the video, when it opens up, there's some writing inside. And one EP is J.P. Morgan, the other one is Elvis. And I remember, if you remember, he had it all. It was all taped up. It was all taped up with all this tape and stuff. And I think the guy was told not to open it because if he opened it, you know, the air would get in. Or some BS that the guy had told him. So we opened it. He let us open it. So here we are in the show opening it up. And as soon as we opened it up, we showed it to a dealer that we know from Wisconsin, Rocky Kriegel. And me and Rocky were looking at it, just shaking our heads like, you know, you don't want to break this guy's heart because he's telling us that he spent thousands of dollars here. He had the WoHo sleeve, for those of you who know Elvis. He had the most talked about personality sleeve. He had Such a Night, white label promo. It's just the odds of him getting all this stuff from this one person that we knew and have it be legit was pretty slim. And we kind of knew that. That's why we brought it in. And I think he was suspicious, right? Because he was. Because why would he brought all this stuff to Memphis, I remember, and he showed it to us. Because he knew Jerry Osborne, because he mentions him. And I remember telling him, yeah, Jerry will be here. He could look at some of the stuff too. But I mean, he had stuff that wasn't even in the book. You know, he's here. Take this record. This is $500. I'll throw this in. And then we're looking at this record going, what the hell is this? And it had like a little cartoon Elvis on it and everything. And you could tell it was made by it looked like a fifth grader had put together this thing, you know. But that's a perfect example at the shows. where people had gotten screwed by some really nasty counterfeiters.
He really got screwed because he had spent 30, 40, 50. But
he made you look good. See?
Well, I mean, I thought, boy, I'm not the only one. I mean, he really got ripped. But I thought, if I remember, we ended up, we had to tell him all this stuff is fake. Sorry, but you've been ripped off. And he was brokenhearted. I mean, you're talking, he spent a lot of money.
But it's really important we do a show about what to watch out for.
You have to.
It's a buyer beware market. We're not saying we're authorities on this, but I have seen so much fake stuff. Yeah. I mean, I can almost identify it from across the room. I don't know about you, but there are some things that you could just tell are fake.
The wooden heart sticker, I'm an expert on. I've seen that. The lettering, let me tell you something. If you have a wooden heart sticker, and the lettering is in the words, wooden heart is very white, very clean and white, solid white. It's fake. Mm-hmm. Also, My Boy is easy. The original My Boy sticker, the pink My Boy, it was actually very light. You could almost see through it. The fakes were much pinker and darker and more solid. Because on the original, when they put the My Boy on, you could almost see underneath the cover. That's how you can tell. The fakes were real pink, real dark. Fake. I had that one too.
And now what about bonus photos?
The photo for Gold Records Volume 4.
Gold Force that photo, the biggest way is the scratch under the neck.
Yeah, the scratch on the neck.
Because whoever booted it and made it, they took it from another photo that they had. They must have taken a perfect picture of it.
Yeah.
And then they booted it, which is why it looks so great. I mean, it really looks like the real thing. But if you look carefully, there's a scratch under the neck. And you can see that must have been on the photo that was there. And then even there's a discolorment on the forehead, on Elvis's forehead, that you can kind of tell is not exactly right either. Here's the collector's box for this episode. And this actually is a very cool thing. I think it's very cool. And I'll explain what I did and why I did it, okay? Because a lot of people don't know why. A lot of people just said, oh, well, Alaniz is booting stuff now. Okay, well, I'm not. This album, you can tell by the back, is this god-awful Elvis Sings for Children album, okay? And I remember one day we were on the phone talking, and you had told me that you had seen this album with a sticker on it. And I remember you telling me that a long time ago. And I asked what was the sticker, and you said it was an Our Memories of Elvis sticker. Okay.
I was shopping on eBay, and I saw 3 separate albums. He Walks Beside Me, the Children album, this album here, and there was a country album. Not Elvis, I'm 10,000 years old, but a Canadian album. It was a country album made exclusively for Canada. And all 3 of them had this sticker on except the only difference was their picture in the center was different. It was from the Boulevard album. Right. It was the full body shot of Elvis from that album. Right. But it was the same size, same thing. It said the same thing, Our Memories series or something. If people from Canada are watching this, they can let us know. I think it was a series that that RCA was going to put this sticker on as a number of albums at that time.
Right.
And they did it I'm assuming they did it in Canada because I saw 3 albums with it.
And there was a dealer selling these stickers on a strip. And I saw the sticker, and I'm thinking, well, oh, that's kind of cool. That must be that Canadian thing. And I just innocently bought about 3 or 4 of them, I think, because he had them on a roll. And I bought 3 or 4. And then I took it home, and you and I had a discussion, and you were kind of like, oh, that's cool. And so you said, well, what the hell?
Yeah. Well, it's a nothing album. I hate this album.
I know. The album sucks to begin with, so anything can make it better.
To put the sticker on it, I thought it made it look cool. It just made it, I didn't do it to sell this to somebody or to say, this is how we found it. We put this sticker on this album because we just thought, I think RCA was going to do this. Because if you notice, this sticker is on the back of the Our Memories album.
Yeah, it is.
It's printed right on the cover.
Yeah.
And so I think they decided not to use it. They scrapped the idea, and then remember they used the other stickers on the Our Memories, the black sticker, and the little round, the blue sticker, and the brown sticker. They went with a different sticker. Maybe they just decided in America we're not going to put them on He Walked Beside Me and the other albums.
Okay, so I got one and I put it on this album.
Yeah.
So that doesn't mean I'm bootlegging the sticker or I'm bootlegging the album. I had an extra one left over and I put it on eBay. Okay, and I didn't know what it was going to sell for. I put it on eBay. I can't remember what it ended up selling for. And right after it sold, then I started getting these people saying, "Oh, you sold a bootleg album. You're trying to pass off that sticker saying," but no, I'm not trying to pass off anything. The thing is, folks, it's an RCA sticker. Did it go on this album? Did it go on He Walked Beside Me? Whatever. Who knows? But you know what? It's a sticker. It looks cool. It's RCA. This is RCA. And maybe it didn't go on this record. But the point is, if it's a part of RCA, it's authentic. Collectors are very finicky. They want things exactly as they were produced and exactly as they were when they were released. I get it. So any other last minute things you could think of? Any other advice?
Well, I don't want to be, I just don't want to make this sound like a downer, but you just have to be careful with what you're buying or who you're buying from.
You do have to be thankful about one thing, though. After all of this that happened to you, it really paid off when you put in all that money into the Vaseline company.
Oh yeah, I got stock in that company.
You got stock in that baby.
I got stock in Vaseline. I made a lot of money. I made back all the money and then some from the money I lost on the stickers.
So, ladies and gentlemen, be careful and.
Let's be careful out there. Remember that?
Let's be careful.
Be careful out there. It was
from
Hill Street Blues.
Yeah, be careful out there.
Let's be careful out there. That's all.
So in closing, I thought I'd put together a list of some things that you should remember. Number one, you should ask about the origin of the item. Like, for example, where did it come from? And try to get specifics. Any details that you can get. Also, use some common sense when it comes to the item. You got to think logically. Like, for example, if something is really old, something from 1956 or 1957, and let's say you're one of those fanatics that has to have everything mint. If it was me, if it's something from the 50s, I'd rather see a little dirt on it, a little dust on it, some kind of wear, because that really adds to the authenticity. If it's a rare item and according to the price guide that the item is worth far more than what they're asking for it, right away you got to be suspicious. Why would anybody say, look, it's in the book for $3,000, but for you, $200? Also, go with your instinct. If it sounds too good to be true, okay, then it probably isn't. The best way to buy anything when it comes to something that's questionable, that that's been bootlegged or counterfeited, is buy it in person. So that about wraps things up for suspicion. A couple things I wanted to remind everybody. First of all, my business, Sounds Good Records, is still in business, even though we're not doing any collectible shows right now at this particular point in time. We're still in business, and I'd like to encourage any of you who are looking to buy things, even if some of the things that are up behind me, some of the records you see or things we talk about on the show, if there's anything of interest that you're interested in purchasing, or if you have a want list, just send it to collectingtheking@gmail.com. And right now there should be an address right here. So that's collectingtheking@gmail.com. Send me an email, a list, whatever you want, and we can always let you know what we have available. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're very excited that we're getting a lot of subscriptions, which is awesome. Did I say that right? Subscriptions? Yeah, subscriptions. That's right. We're very grateful that we're getting a lot of subscriptions to the subscribers. That's the word. It's subscribers. Subscribers. I'm glad you're all enjoying it. We're having a ball doing it. We're going to continue to do shows. Got plenty of guests coming and more things to talk about. And, and please leave a comment below if there's anything you'd like to say, like hello, goodbye, whatever it might be. We love hearing from you. So, again, thank you, everybody. And I'm out of here.